Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terri Moreno and I'm here with Catherine Holeko. Say hi, Catherine.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. Although this week we are sort of family sitcom palooza, so we're not so much not talking about parenting as we are not talking about our parenting.
Right.
We are talking about the parenting in Trophy Wife as we start our Trophy Wife watch. We watched the pilot a couple of weeks ago, and we are continuing with it now. And we're also going to get a reminder about how much it stinks to be single on this week's Challenge Round movie. But first, more family sitcom fun with 2 episodes of Netflix's One Day at a Time.
Right.
So what did you think about these 2 episodes, Catherine? They were Exclusive, which was mostly about dating, about Penelope wondering if Max is seeing anybody else, and Lydia sadly not being able to... having to break up with the doctor.
I know.
Like that.
I hope this doesn't mean that we're going to see less of
I don't think
Dr. Berkowitz.
I don't think so. I did not like that plot development. And then what happened, which flashed back and forth between the circumstances around Elena's birth and then her kind of making up with her dad to some small degree. So
yeah, I thought that the makeup scene was not really earned, you know, like it was too easy.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's not meant to be, you know, the final.
I think she said that it's not good, but it's at least a start.
Right.
But even so, it was playing on the emotion from the flashback scenes, which wouldn't have meant anything to Elena. So why it would make her feel more soft-hearted to her dad, I don't know. Guess makes him feel more soft-hearted, but he still's got a lot of splaining to do, so.
He really does. Like, she can't let him get off that easily, definitely.
Especially since he's been seeing her brother.
Right.
Even if the brother was doing it to smack him around, still.
Right, he was definitely...
That's weird.
He was trying to help.
It's unfortunate.
But, yeah. And you know, I enjoyed the flashbacks, but they were more... comedic right up until, you know, the very end. Right. And then it was like, whoa, tonal shift. Hi. So.
Yes, that was a little abrupt. But I'm happy to see the actor who plays the deceased grandfather getting some airtime. Mm-hmm, it's like, more flashbacks, please.
Right.
His agent is saying, maybe you need to go through the entire history up until the moment where he passed away. I like that actor. I've seen him on other things.
Yeah.
So.
And you got the Schneider flashback.
Yeah, I remember there was some talk on Twitter as to whether they were sort of retconning it, because earlier they had said something about when they met Schneider, and it was not that early. Mm. But, you know, sitcoms can get away with that to some degree, but it's not always consistent. I could have done without that. I didn't feel that was an element that needed to be provided, but okay.
Right.
I still, that whole character, I mean, he's perfectly enjoyable. I like the actor. It's fine. The things they do with him are cute, but he seems a lot more superfluous than the Schneider did in the original version, who actually was usually looked like he was doing something or on his way to go do something. He looked like a working person.
Right.
Whereas this Schneider just looks like he's the wacky neighbor who drops in all the time.
Right, and they make fun of how little work he does. You know, he just calls a guy when the light bulb needs to be changed or whatever. He can't even do that.
That was an interesting... I wonder why they made that switch in characters to make him just basically not have any function at all.
Maybe just to provide more of a contrast with the working class versus... you know, independently wealthy, which he is. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. But they were 2 basically enjoyable episodes. Nothing. The confrontation between the 2 ladies in the ladies' room was sort of amusing.
That was fun.
I figured it was going to be some misunderstanding and it wasn't really a date, but it was. And
so good for Dr. B for actually getting himself a date.
yeah, who's same type as her. So that's, I mean, understandable why she wouldn't feel like she could, but still, he can still come and hang, right?
Right, exactly.
He can still come and hang around. No, because he's still in the work things, but
I'm sure they'll find a way for him to.
I thought their relationship was very cute.
It was, yes.
Yes. And I didn't really need him coming in when she had just had the baby.
In the flashback.
And he comes in just so that we can wink.
Right.
At what a mess he is, even then. Mm-hmm. I feel sorry for his nurse.
But he has hair.
That was a little forced. That and the younger version of Schneider were both a little forced. Mm-hmm. And not necessary, I think. But, it was fun.
Yeah.
Both of them were fun. I'm happy to keep watching it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Okay. Anything else we need to say about that? Or shall we turn our attention to family sitcom number 2?
Sure. Let's do that.
It's a little bit of a duplication of material that maybe we should have thought through. But no, we watched 2 episodes of Trophy Wife, which was a 1-season sitcom some seasons ago that I remember fondly, and so now we are watching it. We watched episodes 2 and 3, and episode 2 in particular reminded me of, is it you who had the big thing about sneaking out of the kids' room when they were trying to fall asleep, or was it Nicole?
I've had that, yes. So I for sure related to them like army crawling down the hall. Because, yes, I would often think like, if only I could just have like a mechanical hand, like a robotic hand that could like be touching this baby, and then I would be able to leave because they just want to feel like I'm there. And then I saw such a product actually advertised. But
this sounds like it would go well in our horror movie
right
topic from this week's group chat, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But I definitely I've definitely had a kid like Bert who required a lot of cajoling and attention in order to fall asleep. So.
Yes, such a cutie.
Yes.
But relentless. Completely relentless.
And then the whole thing, he watched the scary like Dateline show about doctors stealing. Can doctors steal my uterus?
And then he's all hyped up from the coffee.
Right.
Right up to the moment where he sort of just crashes.
I know. As soon as she gave him that coffee cup and said he could take a sip, I was like, oh yeah, that whole thing is going down the hatch. And that is what happened.
So, I mean, the whole thing is just adorable. And then when you consider that it's a little kid actor being given that to do, it's not actually that kid. Mm-hmm. Very, very nice work from that little guy. He's hilarious.
Albert Sy, good job.
Yes. He has gone on to some other sitcoms that I have not watched, but he was just particularly, concentrated adorableness in this, and was appreciated as such when the show was on. Mm-hmm. He was a Twitter favorite, as I recall.
Yes.
And then I also really enjoyed about both of these episodes Marcia Gay Harden as wife number 1 and her mind games with her teenagers. In the first episode, they spilled salsa on the sofa, on the white sofa, and turned it upside down. And then she just kept finding opportunities to say salsa or give them salsa or do salsa
dancing. I know.
Until they finally cracked.
So funny.
And then in the second one, she's invented a teenage social media person to catfish
her own kids. And that one had the little callback at the very, very end where she told Warren she'd only date him if he had a higher GPA. And so he immediately hit the books. He's there.
They do the best tags on this. That was just wonderful. Mm-hmm. So that was, and there's in these episodes, there's a different actress playing the daughter than was in the pilot, and has a little bit more game, I think, than the first girl, but still, having to play the teenage girl is kind of a thankless job. She doesn't really have any quirks. So it was kind of fun that when they finally found the party was so incredibly square and nerdy.
Right. My name's Ace because I ace every test.
That's right. These kids over there are playing bridge.
And Natalie Morales is like, where's the booze?
That's right. Very, very fun.
Funny.
And that horrible, horrible moment where he sits down to her computer and... No!
Yes, that was funny. I enjoy the relationship amongst all the parents. Like, they get along. Like, they're not truly, hating each other and at each other's throats. They sort of work together, but but there's a reason why they're not married anymore. But but they communicate, I guess is what I'm saying, and it's fun watching them interact. All three of the wives and Bradley Whitford as the dad and the kids, and Bert inviting Warren over to help him because he's like creating a jewelry sweatshop and he needs help. So he thinks of his older brother, and
it's very sweet,
really cute.
It really is nice, and I liked the little bit where he tells wife number 2 that she's acting towards wife number 3 the way wife number 1 acted to her. She's like, oh. So yeah, it's really interesting, and each of them is such a distinct type and very nicely done. So really enjoyable. This should have gotten more traction. This should have been more popular when it was on. It's a really nicely done show.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have like a super strong like hook or something.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's just a solid, good sitcom.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's one of those things that needed to like to be after something that was incredibly popular, and
give it a little
just handed
a little jump start.
And there was some talk that it would have been a good companion with Modern Family and might have taken off a little bit more had that been the case, but it was not.
I wonder if there was too much sort of feeling of overlap. Like, maybe. I mean, it's not the same as Modern Family, but I don't know. I wonder if that's too much.
Yeah.
Too much of a piece.
Could have been. I think they did do a crossover with Modern Family at one point, and I was always thinking they should. Did you ever watch The Middle?
No.
With Patricia Heaton?
No.
There's a character on that, Sue Heck, who seems to me as sort of an older female version of Warren. Mm-hmm. And I always thought they should get the two of them together because that would have been just adorable. But I don't think they ever had that crossover. It's too bad. Missed opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
But, all right. Anything we want to say about those, else you want to say about those 2 episodes this week?
No, I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, me too. We interrupt this podcast to remind you to please consider the free Radio Public app for all your Parenting Roundabout listening needs. If you listen to our podcast on the app, we'll get paid a little for each listen and more if you listen a lot.
It's a great way to financially support our podcast without having to actually spend, money. Now on to our challenge round.
All right, and now from the challenges of parenting to the challenges of being single. For the challenge round this week, I challenged you to watch a movie called He's Just Not That Into You, which is in my series of movies that are not precisely good, but I just can sit down and watch at any time and watch scenes from them on YouTube and just for some reason kind of dig. So what did you think about this movie? Watching it made me realize again how very grateful I am to be married.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the kind of movie that makes me want to just go hug and kiss my husband and say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right.
I never have to deal with this again.
Right?
That's right. You don't have any good friends who swim naked that you want to tell me about, right?
Right. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who was Bradley Cooper's character just the worst?
Yeah. Just kind of icky for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And Ben Affleck's being the good guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I enjoyed it. And I agree with you. It goes in that category of like, well, it's not like, prize winning, but it's still just kind of fun to watch. And Jennifer Goodwin is so adorable.
Oh, she is.
And so is Justin Long playing opposite her. And
yes, that scene at the end I may have watched on YouTube.
Yeah.
Quite a number of times. Plus the scenes with Jennifer Aniston and Ben Affleck on his boat and then back in the apartment. Mm-hmm. The other thing this movie is good for, what a large number of very attractive apartments there are to admire in it.
Yes.
You could just mute the sound and just enjoy the architectural porn. Mm-hmm. It's very, some very, very fancy places. But
although the Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Connelly one, it's like weird timing or states of completion, like one day it's got, like it's just walls, and then another day like almost everything's done. I don't know.
Maybe it's a metaphor.
Yeah, it could be, for the way things kind of jump around and 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and and all that. So,
yeah, and Drew Barrymore, so cute. That speech she gives about having to check like 10 different 10 different places to be rejected at each one. Your email and your phone and your text. That was back when there were Blackberries and there was MySpace and all this stuff.
Right, and people had landlines, which they probably don't anymore, except for me. Yeah.
And if they do, they never answer them, so.
Exactly, I never. And I would not. I do have an answering machine on the landline, but I no longer know how to check it from remotely. There's a way to call it and get the messages. And
yes.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that anymore.
Yeah, see, just think of all the guys who would be throwing themselves at you and you would never know.
I would never know. So.
I'm sure that still happens.
Right. Well, and what's the harm of me being friends with a guy? Yeah, I know.
Yes. I was very happy. A nice little surprise at the end of the movie when she and Kevin Connolly's character got together. That was a very sweet little surprise at the end, I thought.
It was, but I wasn't sure. Like, she's friends with Scarlett Johansson. Drew Barrymore's character is friends with Scarlett Johansson's character, but she's never met this guy. And yeah, I don't know. It didn't.
Yeah, that is a little weird when I remembered that part of it. Yes, although it's possible that she just never introduced her to any of her friends, friends, other than just go take out your ads for my friend Mary. But that was a nice little.
And there's actually a deleted scene on the DVD.
Oh yeah,
that shows that one of the original way they had them meeting was at the Gay Pride Parade. Because she works for the newspaper and he is trying to open his tap this community for his business, and she's like on a float and she's dressed up and somehow he and so the director said like
the restaurant is much better.
Yeah, he said they decided like they staged this whole parade and filmed it, and then they were like, no, that's not a good way to go.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
did
watched
not know that.
Some of the deleted scenes and the with commentary. So
I did not have those on my Amazon rental.
Oh yeah, and in fact, there was a whole article in the New York Times art section last Sunday about what happens to DVD extras in the world of streaming and how they go away, and
that is sad.
Yes, and you don't get to learn little tidbits like that.
Yeah, sometimes Amazon does have some little extras, but they did. I don't think they did for this.
Well,
that's
what is it when you watch Amazon like TV shows that they have like pop-up windows and stuff that you can?
Yes. I think that might. Well, I don't know. They had that on Downton Abbey, so it's not just for Amazon content alone. But I don't know. I was watching it on this rigged up thing where I'm watching it on a computer across the room controlled by my laptop, so I don't really fuss with it much. I just kind of set it and watch, because if I click the wrong thing, it's all going to go away. Right. So I didn't really test it. I should do that. I have it for 41 more hours or something like that.
I know. I had to fire up the non-Blu-ray DVD player. I'm like, where is the remote for this thing? I should have just played it on my computer, but I wanted to watch it on the actual TV.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, movies like this remind you of how much technology changes, because between the time when I was dating and this movie, technology changed hugely, and the amount the technology has to do in dating. I mean, I went on like a very, very, very early computer date, but I think you like got a computer printout in the mail or something like that. And then even between when this movie came out, which I'm not sure, I don't remember the year, but
I think it's like 2007 or something like that.
Not that long ago, but long enough that everything's changed again. And none of these things would still happen.
Right, because now it would have to be about, like, Tinder or something.
Yes, yes. That's what it would be.
He didn't swipe whichever direction is good.
Poor Drew Barrymore's character would be doing that, too.
Right.
I swiped these many guys. And
nobody
swiped
happened.
me. Aww, so hard.
Yes.
Out there.
Yeah, but very fun.
Thank you for comedy person. You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing.
I am glad you enjoyed it. Now, what do you have for me for next week?
So, not a family sitcom and not a dating related item.
Okay.
Because we had both of those this week too.
Yes.
With One Day at a Time.
Right.
You've heard of this. Netflix has a series called Nailed It.
Uh-huh.
And it is really cute and fun. And it's, just a light little thing to do while you're doing something else. And I think your daughter would probably enjoy it too. It's a cooking show where they bring on just average people and have them try to recreate these incredible looking creations, like a cake that it is like a giant shark head eating, chomping down on a little tiny surfer or whatever. And they have 3 people and they have 2 challenges, and it's just 30 minutes, and it's so fun because you're like, that would be me. I mean, when you see these things, pictures like on Pinterest or anywhere, you're like, yeah, right. And so anyway, it's very charming, and the host is a lot of fun. Her name is Nicole Byer, and the regular, like, all the time judge is Jacques Torres, who has a chocolate business, and then the first one, the other judge was Sylvia Weinstock, who's a famous wedding cake baker from New York City. And she was so good that I was like, the second one is probably not, like, I was worried when she wasn't on the second one. But the second guy was fun too. He did a good job too. So, so yeah.
That sounds fun.
It is fun. And like I said, it's just 30 minutes per episode. And they go down like cookies, quick and easy. So
yeah, I think I've heard of this mentioned on a couple of other podcasts. So I'm curious about it. So glad to have an opportunity to go check it out.
Yeah, and it has just a nice vibe. Like, it's not...
That's good.
It's not mean at all.
They're not making fun of the people who are unable to do this stuff.
They're not. Really. They always give them some compliments. Even when they're like, whoa, that looks real bad. But then they might be like, but it tastes really good, or whatever it is. They come up with something that they can say. So it is cute. So
all right.
Check that out.
Okay, so for next week, we'll watch episodes 9 and 10 of Season 2 of One Day at a Time. They are Hello, Penelope and Storage Wars. And we will watch episodes 4 and 5 of Trophy Wife, The Breakup, and The Tryst. And episodes 1 and 2 of Nailed It on Netflix. And that is going to be it for our Round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes, including our daily speed rounds and weekly group chats. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.